Happy Friday. Today is, what is today? The 29th day of October. This is the 25th episode of season 2 of the Be Your Own Hero Show. Hero is an acronym. It means helping everyone reaps optimism. In other words, helping others helps you. Try it. You'll like it. All right. I'm your host. I'm Sekouwrites. I'm a professional creative and the creator of what is now known as the Hero Ministry. Shout out to New Thought Media Network for allowing me the space and opportunity to be here and talk about my journey of becoming my own hero. And quick disclaimer, I am not a certified personal trainer, nor am I a licensed financial advisor, so do your own homework, do your own research. All right, that's the intro. Let's get into it. It's Free Flow Friday, so I'm gonna wing it. Usually, as you know, if you've been watching the show, I would recap all the various things that I've talked about this week. But I think I'm just going to jump right into a couple things and give myself a little more time. So, Hero Ministry news. Okay, today is day 151 of me running every day. Every single day, at least a mile a day since the first day of June. And that has evolved. My at least a mile a day has now become at least a 5K a day. And it's been that way for the past 49 days. I run a 5K every day consecutively for the past 49 days. So tomorrow is a milestone day for that. Very exciting stuff. That said, I've added another metric unofficially. So it seems like for the past 7 days, I've been doing a backpack drop every single day. In other words, in case you missed the memo, I've been running recently with a backpack on. And I pack that backpack with clothes, etc. And then as I interact with folks who are unhoused or need help, I might give them something from my backpack. And so my point is, for the past 7 days consecutively, I've been able to connect with someone who needs something, wants something. So yeah, there's yet another metric. So day 151, day 49, and day 7. So exciting stuff. And again, for those of you just joining us, you can just go to my website, which is sekouwrites.com. I'll put that up, and everything that I'm talking about is there. It was getting a little confusing putting it in too many places. So you just go to my website, and then you look for the Hero Charity Run, and everything is listed under the Hero Charity Run. There are 3 different ways to be involved. You can obviously buy some hero merchandise. Like, that's how this all started. You buy one and I gift one. So it's a go-go. You get one for yourself and I gift one to the unhoused community. That's sweatshirts, hoodies, socks, masks, t-shirts, almost you name it. Like, it has expanded rapidly. So there's a little bit of something for everybody. Oh, kids hoodies, a little bit of something for everybody. So, and then my cousin's hoodie, the one, that's my charity item, my 100% charity item. 100% of the proceeds go to her. So shout out to Morgan in Boston. She suffers from sickle cell anemia, but she has become a champion of sickle cell anemia, and she is an advocate for fighting and awareness, raising awareness about that disease. So 100% of those, 100% of the proceeds from those hoodies go directly to her. Okay, so all that said, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world of Hero Ministry news. I'm excited about the fact that I've gotten to day 151. I am clear about my goal. The goal is 500 miles for me, and I am over 380 miles right now. Over 390, actually, just trying to get back to 400. Anyway, over 390 miles, and the goal is $5,000 total by December 4th. So there was a little concern about that. That's not $5,000 more, that's $5,000 total. So where we are now is a little over halfway, 2,510. So getting there. Spread the word, make a donation. Either way, just get the word out so we can reach that goal. Okay, so let's talk about money a little bit. I was saying previously that this world of finance, and in specific, this world of the stock market, are both vast. They're vast. There's so many things. There's, penny stocks, over-the-counter stocks, pink sheets, options trading, REITs, bonds, growth stocks, dividend stocks, index funds, ETFs. There's so much to know. So my new philosophy about this, and as you know, it's evolving as we go, is to focus on a few things instead of trying to learn all of it. Because I'm thinking about this in basketball terms. And if you know me, you know I don't follow sports, but I'm still using basketball as an analogy. So I'm thinking about Steph Curry, and he famously hit 77 free throws in a row recently, or relatively recently. So that's incredible. And in some game after that, he was able to bring his team back from failure to a win because of that practice. Anyway, long story short, what I'm saying is he's very good at shooting 3-point shots. So I feel like if we get good at a specific segment of this vastness that is the stock market, then that will serve us in the short term. Like, we get good at that, and then getting good at that will help us understand the stock market in a broader sense. So recapping the things we've already talked about. We've already talked about index funds, which seems to be the tried and true place to be. S&P 500 is the one that everybody knows, but there are others. We talked about growth stocks. We talked about the acronym FANG, F-A-A-N-G. That's Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google, right? And how those tech-related companies started off small and then skyrocketed. And those are stocks that do not pay a dividend because they use the dividends to help grow the company, which brings up dividend stocks, dividend-paying stocks, and how there's a wide discrepancy between how much they pay and how often they pay. Some pay monthly, believe it or not. Others pay annually, semi-annually, quarterly. There's no rhyme or reason. It's just whatever they decide. And if you have a dividend-paying stock, you should have DRIP on. DRIP is the dividend reinvestment plan that automatically reinvests any dividend generated from that stock right back into the stock, even if that means buying a fractional share. So even on brokerage houses like Ameritrade that technically don't offer fractional shares, if you have DRIP on, you'll be buying fractional shares all the time. So you'll look up one day and you'll have another share that you didn't buy that it has bought for itself by reinvesting the dividends. So that's very exciting. So we talked a little bit about that, about dividend stocks, and how there are ETFs in pretty much all the categories that you could ever want. So, for example, there are several dividend ETFs, one of which is specifically for dividend aristocrats. And I think there's also one for dividend kings too. So just a reminder, dividend kings and aristocrats, let's define those. Dividend aristocrats are companies that have paid a dividend for at least 25 years, and every year they increase their dividend. So that's good company to be in, right? Presumably, if you get those stocks, your dividend will go up every year, in addition to the fact that once you have it, your dividends will start to compound in the background in the brokerage house. So there's that. And then dividend kings have been increasing the amount of their stock for 50 years. Again, very, very good company to be in. And so you could buy those stocks individually. You can simply Google dividend king stocks or dividend aristocrat stocks, see what they are, and buy into the ones that you're comfortable with. Or, and this has become my preference, look for an ETF that includes dividend aristocrats or dividend kings or both, and simply buy into the ETF because it'll cost you less money than buying into the individual stocks. So there's that. All right, and then what else? I think in terms of the things that we've already talked about, we've also already talked about cryptocurrency. So that brings up a couple of things for me. There is a show on, I have it up on my screen, it's on Prime, on Amazon Prime. It's called This Giant Beast That Is the Global Economy. Watch the show. Watch the show. The funny thing about it is I've seen this show before. But it's all about mindset. That's what we come back to. It's all about mindset. And so when I saw it the first time, however many years ago that was, most of the stuff just kind of whizzed past me. I thought it was interesting, but not in the way that it's interesting now, being in the space and mindset of money. It is much more fascinating and also much more scary. Like, if you watch the show, it's only 8 episodes. It will really shake your faith in these systems that we believe in. And I think that's a good thing, because anytime you believe in something too much, it's easy for the rug to be pulled out from under you. So watch the show. If you can't find it on Prime, look for snippets of it on YouTube, but watch the show. That said, episode 7 is all about money. Like, the whole show is about money, but episode 7 is about fiat currency versus cryptocurrency and some other things. I'm trying not to give it away, but I think I'm gonna have to give away some of it. So it also talks about the advent of the gold standard and the decline, the elimination of the gold standard as it relates to money. And also it really explains cryptocurrency in terms of the mindset of the creators, which is something that I hadn't heard before. So that's really important, to understand the mindset of the people who created cryptocurrency and how they don't trust the government. And so this is meant to be an end around, a currency that does not require any kind of governmental oversight, which means companies like Visa and MasterCard can't monetize it. So this is very big disruption of power in a number of different ways. So that said, I think the last thing I want to say about this is I've been trying to figure out for myself, how are people getting rich in cryptocurrency? Like, because you hear the stories, right? You hear about the millionaires and the billionaires, like, what? But how though? So I got it now. It's very simple. So Netflix, when it was first released, they were selling their shares of stock for about $15 per share. Now, if you had the foresight to see where Netflix is going, and again, not a lot of people did, if you had the foresight, you bought in at $15, and now those shares are worth $679. Let's just call it $680 per share. That's a significant increase. So your net worth has gone up if you didn't sell anything, or you cashed out and you've got some significant money. By comparison, you ready? Bitcoin was launched at 8 cents per share, less than that. But within the first year or so, it grew to 8 cents per share. It is now trading at $61,000 per share. So all that means for the people who became millionaires overnight is that they bought in really low and they cashed out some already. Not many of them have cashed out everything. They still got some left in, but most of them have cashed out a significant amount of their Bitcoin back into cash and then put that money in their account, those millions of dollars in their account, and they're living off those millions of dollars. So that's it in a nutshell. So I'll talk a little bit about that moving into next week, because that is the space that we've talked about that is the high risk, high reward. It is high risk though, but there is high reward. All right, that said, stay tuned for prayer time at 10:15 right now. And also stay tuned for Sit with Rev Melissa, and catch me here next week for the Be Your Own Hero Show, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern. Till then, keep doing, be a hero, be your own hero, and remember that right now is better than perfect. Later.